Okay, my name is Matson Miranda and I'm from Aldona. I am very happy today that the people of Aldona, we did awareness on the CZMP plans. It was my first time that I was knowing more things about the map, like in detail. And Goinso Awaz was here to help us knowing that better things. And in the end, we had a suggestion and objection round where people were given a chance to raise the objection in written, and which will be submitted tomorrow, because tomorrow is the last day that the government is taking the objections and suggestions.
The Aldona youth of the Aldona constituency organized a wonderful meeting to apprise citizens of the Goa Coastal Zone Management Plan in relation to Aldona constituency. And I think that this was an eye-opener for all of us to understand what is the plan, and so that we can give suggestions and objections. I myself, being a lawyer, am not technically sound on these kind of matters, because only technical experts can tell us. We take inputs from them, and we would move into the court on getting the technical objections and seeing the validity and testing them in the background of law. But one thing I want to say, in the next 2-3 days, we should be having a petition coming up before the High Court, challenging this very entire farcical procedure of the public hearing, which was taken at Kala Academy and the Ravindra Bhavan. More particularly, we will be focusing on the Kala Academy petition, because this is in North Goa, and that entire public hearing was a mockery. It is in contravention of law, and we do hope we will get justice from the High Court, so that we don't be wasting time of the government, of the Ministry of Environment, Forest, and also money of going up and down and then coming back to be resulting into a zero.
I'm Roshan Matthias from Goinso Awaz, and today we had been invited, our team had been invited to Aldona, where the youth of Aldona had organized an public awareness program on the CZMP of Aldona constituency. So they invited people from the other villages like Korjuin, Pomorfa, etc., who come under the Aldona constituency. And it was a nice gathering with around 200 to 250 people. And we explained to them the entire concept of the CRZ notification, how it came in, why it came in, what is the necessity of a CRZ plan, etc. And we further dealt into the details of the plan that has been sent to most of the villages in Goa, which have to be seen by the public, and objections and suggestions are to be framed on the same. And so we explained to them in details, especially about the destructive things that have been planted into the villages without the consent of any villages. And one main thing was about the sport limits. These sport limits are not supposed to be shown on a CRZ plan, but it looks like these have been bulldozed on the CZMP plan just to legalize the destructive forces that are waiting to grab Goa under the garb of the MPT Port Trust. There has been the Major Ports Authority, Major Ports Act, which has been passed by the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, which are going to affect the state of Goa in a very, very big way. The ports have been actually given the power to make their own regulations, their own rules, their own planning, development plan, and all these are to be done without the consultation of local bodies or the state legislation or any existing plans, which means that even the regional plan of Goa, the village development plans which are being made, the village level plans which are being made by the VDC committees, all these will be thrown out. That act even is so dangerous that in case there is a dispute between the MPT, the board, and the local authorities, it is said there very clearly that the board plan or the board decisions will prevail. That means they are always declared winners. And this is absolutely dangerous. The lands of people are going to go through these port limits, and we still don't understand why these are put into the CZMP plans. The act very clearly says that the authority can take land which is adjacent to these rivers, to these port limits, appurtenant lands. Appurtenant means unlimited land. And this is compulsory acquisition, which means you have to give the land. All that you will get is that small peanut amount of compensation, and you will be told to leave from that place. You cannot go to any court, you cannot go to anybody to fight, because this act has been passed. Besides that, we have told them about the other features of their structures of the houses, of archaeological structures which need to be shown, where exactly the CRZ is applicable, about other features which need to be shown, like the high tide line, the hazard line. All this has been explained to them in detail, and they have been most happy to get this talk today, and they are all excited. If you see them around, they are talking in groups, discussing the CRZ plan and noting down their objections and suggestions, which they plan to give to the CRZ office by tomorrow 5 o'clock.
Today we were called by the people of Aldona, basically the youth of Aldona, to come and give an awareness program on the coastal zone management plan. And when we studied the CZMP of Aldona, we found that Aldona also has been brought under the port limits. So we told the people the dangers about the river bank in Aldona coming under port limit, superimpose the IWAI Act which was passed in 1985 and the recently passed Major Ports Authority Bill. Ye तीनों इतर कायदे लायले, then Aldona loses its independence, its sanctity, because the bill which has been passed gives absolute jurisdiction and powers to Mormugaon Port Trust. We cannot allow this. The people of Aldona and all over Goa, we have a symbiotic relationship with the sea and the river. Aise tor ye kaide kadun, you make it out of bounds, out of reach for Goans, it will be like fish out of water. आमी मरतले अशेत. आणि आमची फुडली पिळगी जी आसा, the future generations for whom we are supposed to keep this, we are talking of sustainable growth, sustainable development. We will not be able to save our villages for the future generations. So today, thanks to the youth of Aldona, our youth from all over, including Chikali, we came down to Aldona, connected, explained to the people. The people have understood the danger which is there, and we want that the government should have the people's plan. The people had prepared a coastal zone management plan in 2019. We want that plan to be revisited and included. Amka sarkaran kello, which is meant for crony capitalists, to आम्ही reject करता. We want our plan which was made by the villagers.
नमस्कार. आयज आमी आल्दोना इन्स्टिट्यूटान जो CZMP प्लॅन हाचेर डिस्कशन करपाक, मोर ऑफ इट वॉज अवेरनेस. म्हणजे लोकांक कांयच खबर ना ह्या प्लॅनान कितें आसा आनी कितें ना, हेचे फायदे कितें आनी लुकसाण कितें, हें लोकांक कांयच खबर ना. कित्याक हो प्लॅन केन्ना लोकां मदीं येवंकूच ना. गव्हर्मेंटान हो प्लॅन हाडिनासतनाच हो प्लॅन तयार केला आनी ते चालीक लावपाचें आसा. सो आयज आमच्या हल्दोनच्या युथांनी एक फुडाकार घेवन एक अवेरनेस प्रोग्राम हांगा केलो, आनी तितूनशी खुबशे आमकां जाणविकाय मेवळी. तितून जे ऑब्जेक्शन आसतले ते निश्चित आमचे हल्दोणकार घालतले. टायम शॉर्ट जरी आसलो तरी आसतना थोडी तरी ऑब्जेक्शन आमी घालतली. आमची मागणी इतलीच की आमी पयलींय मागणी केल्ली जेन्ना निलेश काब्राल म्हापसा बार्देस तालुकाचे पब्लीक हियरींग घेवपाक येयल्लो, त्या वेळार मंत्र्याक आमी सजेशन केल्लें आनी ताका आमी त्या वेळार स्टॉप केल्लो, सांगपाक की तुमी गांवांत येयात, विलेजीन येयात, लोकांचें म्हणणें आयकून घेयात, लोकांक सांगात आनी तेन्नाच हो प्लॅन पास करा. पूण गव्हर्मेंटान तशें करूंक ना. हे गव्हर्मेंट हुकूमशायेन दादागिरीन मुखार वचपाक सोदता. तेन्ना आमचो एका खर विरोध आसा. हो प्लॅन हो फ्युचराक आमच्या आसा. आयज जर आमी एका ऑब्जेक्शन घातलें ना जाल्यार येणारी पिढी आमकां मागीर दोश दितले. सो आयचे जे सगळे लोक आसा तेंच्यांनी आमच्या फ्युचराचे चिंतून ह्या प्लॅनाक विरोध करपाक जाय. जे बरे गोश्टी आसा ताका सपोर्ट करपाचो, पूण ज्यो वायट आसा, ज्यो ऑब्जेक्शनेबल आसा ताका ऑब्जेक्ट करूंक जाय. आनी गव्हर्मेंटान लोकांचे चिंतून दोन क्रोनी कॅपिटलिस्ट जावं इतर कोणी आहा तेंच्या फावरार ना उलयता. गव्हर्मेंट लोकांचो आसा, लोकांचे चिंतून लोकांक लागून हो प्लॅन तयार करचो.